What's up, kind people of YouTube? My name is Ahmed, and welcome back to yet another video. Today, I'm talking to you about a movie that I watched recently. It's called Goodbye, and it was an emotional roller coaster, and that's all I have to say about that film. Quite frankly, I had a whole bunch of emotions by the end of the film, and it made me love my parents a little more, to be fair. Now that I've got that out of the way, let's get into the review of the film and why I think a lot of people enjoyed watching it and why I think people should watch this film in general. Well, one of the things that this film does really well is the definitive characters that it has. Okay, there are some issues with the characters where the characters do lack a little bit of depth, but there is a very defined set of characters that are involved. Amitabh Bachchan's character is very well defined, and we know he's a very good actor and will do well in any role that is given to him. Sunil Grover, although in a very small role in the film, does a very good job and actually shows us how good of an actor he is. Of course, Neena Gupta in the film, Rashmika Mandana in the film does a very good job, and I feel like I'm butchering some of the names, but it's fine. I do terribly with the names, and if you've seen my videos, you know I do terribly with names. Each of the characters that they are portraying on screen is very well done. They have a very defined nature to them. Their characters are essentially a very good set of ideas that are put together. They are performed really well. That makes the film relatable, that makes the characters relatable, and this adds to how the story is being told as well. Now, the narrative structure takes part in two ways. One, it's telling you the story of the funeral, and then it's showing you the dynamics of the family with the mother involved, who's played by Neena Gupta, and her funeral essentially. This structure of going back and forth and the memories that each of the characters have allows the characters to develop a bond throughout the film and allows the viewers to actually experience the dynamics and the changes in the dynamics between the characters essentially. Throughout the film, you feel that the characters have developed and you see the difference in what was the dynamic before when Neena Gupta's character was present in the film, and now that she's not there, you essentially see the difference in the dynamic as well. And this actually plays very well into the storytelling of the film. One thing that the characters are essentially very quirky, and the reason why I'm adding this to one of the things that I enjoyed about the film is because what happens essentially is if the character does not have quirks, they are not defined, and the quirks are basically what the definitive parts of the characters are. Also, these quirks sometimes get annoying in certain characters, but in this film, it works in the favor. I know I kind of repeated the point from earlier, but defined characters and quirky characters are essentially for me in my head two different points. Another thing that I felt throughout the film was how much of an emotional roller coaster this entire film was. And the reason why I felt this film was an emotional roller coaster is because one, is dealing with the funeral. Secondly, it's also dealing with a lot of issues that arise within a family dynamic. And we all have different dynamics within a family, and that is shown on screen. And I feel that a lot of people can relate to this because every family has a different set of dynamic. With this film, they are very clear of what the dynamic is, and this sets to a very emotional story being told, and it takes their viewers on a ride that is emotional. But on this note, the film essentially tells you that the father, played by Amitabh Bachchan, is a little more strict in comparison to the mother, who's played by Neena Gupta, and that kind of reflects in the characters being very different with their behavior with the parents as well. That relationship creates an emotional ride for all the characters that are involved, for the audience that is involved. Now, one thing that I really want to talk about actually how Amitabh Bachchan and Sunil Grover allowed the actors that were around them to play their parts while actually being within the lines of their own characters. We all know Amitabh Bachchan being an actor of his stature is going to give a performance that will overshadow lot of the actors. But in this film, one thing that you notice essentially is how he allows each of the actors that are on screen enough time to grow as characters throughout the film while not just being held back by the performance that he's giving. Another performance that I really want to talk about is Sunil Grover and his impact. Even though Sunil Grover was in the film for maybe 15 minutes, he had quite a bit of an impact on the film. Overall, I genuinely enjoyed watching the film and I can recommend this film to a lot of people. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you've reached this point, a sub to the channel would be spectacular. Anyway, peace and see you in the next one really soon.